I'm making this video. I'm making this video on I don't know what I'm making it on. I'm making this video on something that I was watching today. Because I don't wake up till 10 o'clock. Because well, it's 10 o'clock now. Just talking about previous show. I'm watching this video on this guy. Some dude. Some guy that was like some IT dude, IT specialist. And apparently the guy embezzled like $1 million from some company. Doing it the IT way. Kind of shifty, you know what I mean? Shady. Yeah. And it got me thinking. I don't have a job anymore because I'm retired. So I have like limited resources. So if you got any money, I can get my tooth fixed. Actually, look, I just fixed it. So what I was thinking is, so here's this guy that gets into this organization, and then he just, he starts embezzling some cash flow. He's like, I need to make some extra cash. What's the easy way to make cash? And that would be, just embezzle the money. Just freaking, just take a little. And it kind of got me thinking, because I'm an old person. I've been around. I've seen things. Reminds me of when I was working back in the late 80s as I was a busboy, and I was also a doorman for this restaurant, high-scale restaurant out in San Diego. It was pretty high scale. I was a low-scale dude working at a high-scale restaurant. I had the opportunity to serve water to David Copperfield once. Big frickin' deal, dude. But that was something I did. And I had a buddy of mine that I was working with, quote, working with. We were working. And he's always been kind of a shifty dude because he doesn't give a shit. Literally, he doesn't care about anything. I mean, he cares about himself. He'll do anything he can to manipulate things in his favor. And he even said, like, you send me to a psychologist, I'll twist their brain into a knot. And he was pretty good at what he did, too. I mean, he'd get himself out of all kinds of jams. I won't go into all of them. And I won't even mention who he is because that wouldn't be nice. But there was a time me and him worked as bouncers and busboys at this high scale restaurant. And as doormen, we would let the people into the nightclub. Yeah, it's kind of got me thinking. I can figure out a scam again. Anyway, we bring people into the nightclub, and then they pay $2 for each person that came in. So, and then they just gave us this a box. You put money in. There was like a little old school cash register looking thing. So basically, the people would come in, you ring them up $2, and then each, and then put the money in the box. And at the end of the night, you send the box over to the management. This guy concocted a nice little easy scheme to where if you had a party of 5 and they all come in together, because a lot of them come in together, he would just take the money, $2 times 5, so that's $10, and he would just take the money and say, okay, thanks, and they'll let him in, and bring up the receipt. But the receipt basically just said $2. And people normally don't really look at the receipt, especially when they're drinking and stuff. And if they did ask, he would just say, "Oh, it's just we just put $2 is because we have to mark it times 10 in our register, but we just ring it up as $2, so we know what it's for. You know that it's for the admittance to the club." So people would kind of buy it, and we would work that doorman thing for a while. And it was surprising because this guy could pull off like $100, just a night doing that. So it kind of got me thinking about this dude that was like embezzling. And when the cops came and got him, he was just like, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. You got me. And so, they carted him off to jail. He ends up getting 15 years in prison for embezzling $1 million. And there's another story about this guy that I don't know if it's true. It's probably true. I don't know. Maybe it's true. Basically took like $2.5 million over a certain period of time. I don't know how he did it, but and then he finally got caught 25 years later, and had to spend 3 years in prison for it. But somebody asked him, was it worth it? And he said, hell yeah, it was worth it because I basically funded my lifestyle, plus I freaking sent my kids to college. So it kind of, it's like, what is the effort worth it? In that case, maybe it was. Was it worth it for the guy that got 15 years for embezzling? Probably not, because he only got $1 million, and he probably had. I mean, you can't really keep it with you in prison, so he probably got screwed. It kind of got me thinking, what is it really worth? Taking these chances. If you don't take chances, you end up right where you're at. I mean, you don't get anywhere. You're just there. You're just not really, you're not being able to really move forward. And the world can get very dark because you're just spinning around in your head. How do I figure this out? How do I do this? And I see a lot of people like GoFundMe accounts and stuff. People are kind of begging for money. They're like, well, I'm freaking desperate right now. I don't have any money. My dog, cat died and stuff. But so I kind of get it. I get the desperation. This world can really make a person freaking their anxiety spike up and stuff, especially when they have things going on. Me personally, it doesn't bother me as much. Mostly because I've been homeless before, and I remember when I was homeless, I would just go and pick up cigarette butts or whatever. I'd find a way to make it work in my life, Go friggin' pick up cans, bottles, whatever. A lot of people say, that's an idiot way of doing it, but it is what it is. It's what I had to do when I was down and out. Until I went to school and stuff, but I thought I'd share that interesting perspective on some of the lengths people will do just to go and get a few extra bucks. It kind of got me thinking, but I don't know. What do you think? Thanks for watching.